Everybody, welcome to Leon's Chainsaw Parts and Repair. At the risk of having too much crap open on my bench, we're going to open a saw that was sent to us for the channel. I sent a shipping label down to Robert, and he sent me whatever's in this box. And truthfully, I don't know what model it is. I have some ideas, and I have a wild fantasy hope about what it is. But until we open it up and do a little investigation, I won't have any idea. So, let's get to it. And there we go. It is packaged quite well. This came out of the Bay Area-ish, give or take. Has some... I thought those oil stains might be from the saw, but they're from the outside of the box. So, I like that. Man, this is well packaged. Ah, okay. Some assembly may be required. Does have a factory full wrap handle that has been impacted a little bit. Oops, sorry, there we go. But that's okay. I don't care. Not one little bit do I care. What else do we have floating in here? There's our bucking spike and our handle hardware. All good stuff. Those of you that are familiar with old Homelites are already thinking about what this could be with that color scheme. Okay, it's not going to be my wild fantasy saw, and that would be the one I'm missing from that series, an XL104. But that's okay. This is going to end up being an 870 or an 850. First off, this logo here that has been cut out by, unfortunately, it just happens. It is what it is. I'm not going to beleaguer that. Whether it was run at some point without a bar on it or these screws loosened up because those are not the proper screws to have in there, we'll fix that. Chrome muffler looks pretty nice. We have a manual oil pump down here as opposed to up here that you saw on some of the earlier stuff. And what really tells me is this choke setup right here. And let me see if I can zoom you guys in just a smidge and not lose it. Where are we at? Okay, so you can see the choke lever sticking out right here, and it actually runs through the airbox through a grommet, and then that goes all the way into the carb. Now, this is kind of a pain in the ass, but there's enough room here, typically, as I recall, once you get the screws loose, you can slide the carb back. You gotta, although this fuel barb is popping out, I think there's enough room to slip it back and free the adjustment screws from the grommet down here and then slide this out. I don't think you need to pull this out. But I honestly can't remember. So, guess we'll find out. So I knew it was missing the air filter mount and the cover and the air filter, of course. Looks like we're missing all but one starter screw. Those just need to be tightened down. These early screens were retained by just wire clips. I think you can twist them and kind of tighten them up. You can see the plug there from that style of oil pump, manual oil pump that I was talking about. Some of these earlier ones, you had a rod that ran all the way through here, and then the oil pump would be screwed right on the side. So I'm going to guess that this is an 850. And I may not be able to get a hell of a lot closer than that, unless... What do we got for an ignition? Hey, my favorite little yap dog. Alright, now this is not 100% conclusive. That's a points ignition in there. And I don't think the 850 had a electronic ignition, but, you know, I could be failing to remember properly. And I also don't know if I have a browser window open here that I can quickly check that theory. And if I don't, we'll just give up on it. Ah, good Lord. It would be so nice if I did not have to start everything all over again every time I come to this freaking laptop. I'm so sick of updates. And you gotta restart this, and oh, upgrade to this Windows. I've had it, but it's still not enough of a had it to make me want to go get a Mac. Can't stand those things. Alright, I'm gonna look at the 1966 version of the IPL real quick here. And I say real quick, and I mean real quick. Ooh, okay, so there is an electronic ignition, but it looks a hell of a lot like a points ignition from the top here. But there is electronic components that are buried underneath the flywheel. In theory, on an 850. Let's take this cover off so that we don't do anything silly. That stud is loose. Where's my... There we go. Complete with bar plates, and they aren't totally roached. Got some chain rash on them, but not that bad. Oh shit. Ha! Did you guys see on camera what just happened? This whole thing is, this crankcase is blown out. Oh wow. See what I mean? Where's my pointer tool? Right there. This thing took a hard impact. Wow. Even took out a piece of the where the nut's supposed to rest for this retainer. God, is that screw as bent as I think it is? Keep an eye on the screw. See if it wallers. Oh God. It's actually not bent. It's just full of crap in there that... Okay. Might be a little bent. Yeah, it's a little bent. Yeah, this took an impact of some sort. Well, whoop-de-doo. That kind of sucks. Okay. Oh. And you guys are just catching it in the edge of your screen. And it's not terribly uncommon to see something broke out of there. Hence the bucking spike has been drilled with a new hole. That I'm not as concerned about. I can live with that. It's whether I thought I could get some JB to hold in here. And I'm trying to tell, I think even the anti-rotation groove has been destroyed. And what I mean by that is, see how there's the step there? That's to keep that stud from rotating. It doesn't look like there's a whole hell of a lot left down in here. So, alright, let's back this off again. What other little nuggets are we going to find in here? Okay, there's no fuel hose attached. This hasn't run for a while, but somebody made an attempt. That is clear hose. That is now rock hard. I can see that there's a spark arrestor screen in here. Coming from California. Making it a West Coast saw, at least at this point, doesn't surprise me. I guess we ought to check the condition of the cylinder. If the cylinder's roached, I'm done. We're just going to part this out. I'm not going down the road of trying to scab a saw together that much. Okay, cylinder is not roached. Oh wow, what is this? This has a Dykes ring in it. See that? And I sure don't recall that. Oh God, shut up. These stupid damn updates. Drives me up the wall. Where's the piston? Come on. And what in the hell is that out of? Okay, XL850 capacitive discharge. That's great. Where the hell is the piston drawing? Don't tell me this is one of those ones I screwed up and lost a page. Oh, there it is. Yeah, see, this shows one ring, or two rings. Damn it. What do we have here? And there's not an alternate. That's interesting. I'll spend some more time inside to figure that out. That's interesting. I don't remember, except for maybe the 913 and 914, maybe those had a Dykes ring option on them. Cool. Interesting. I'd have to take the Tillotson carburetor off all the way to see. I want to see if we've got spark first. Sometimes a carburetor will give you an idea of what you're messing with. In this case, I don't think it will. Champion spark plug, I'd like to see that. I'm not going to get super fancy on testing here. We'll just see if the spark plug has anything in it. Come on. See if I can avoid getting shocked. Oh. Somebody was attempting to take this flywheel off. And it was not me. Damn it. I swear I heard it sparking even though I couldn't see it. I don't need you to do much, just... Oh yeah. Sparking at a nice low speed. And that pop, 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 pop out of the cylinder, that tells me this thing has plenty of compression. I just don't know what kind of a bastardized saw we have here. So, what do you say? We'll try doing what somebody else was doing. See if we can get this flywheel off, and we'll see what kind of ignition system it has underneath it. I know I've done videos before where I talk about, oh, what to do first on a saw, you know. In this case, I'm doing all this crap right now because I want to know what it is I have. so that I pull from the right parts bins. Thread on without being a shit. Paul is slightly bent, or the threads are loaded up with trash. That's definitely not cross-threaded. Alrighty then. We'll find out if somebody was successful or if they gave up. Alright, now I'm going to say they gave up. I'm twisting the nut back down with this. Okay. I don't need you to be a total pain in the neck, dude. Okay. Alright, we're definitely not. Ouch. Damn. There she goes. That could have been worse. Not exactly what I had in mind. Not exactly at all what I had in mind. You son of a bitch. Maybe it's a good thing I didn't get a whole bunch of other parts in. Sinking suspicion that this is one of those days that's not working with me, it's working against me. Damn you. Can you come off now, you son of a... Oh. There's an impact mark right there, and that's why it was acting like a little turd. So, can I get her to go back in without jamming up under the spring under the pawl? And the odds are against me on that one, but we'll see. Alright. Not going to look that gift horse in the mouth. Does not appear we damaged the nut or the crankshaft with the escapades there. Naturally, the magnet stopped right on the laminations. Come on. You ass bag. Oh, come on. Alright. What do I have? It sure looks like a point system to me. It is. Alright. But this is a part and it needs cleaned out, so I'm not going to put the flywheel back on just yet. That would be foolhardy. So, whatever this saw is, it is what I said earlier. It's bastardized. It's got stuff from, I would say, multiple saws on it. We know we have compression. We know we have spark. We know we have a crankcase that's heavily damaged. Doesn't look like the old hose is in there, and the old filter in that tank is clean and does not smell rotten. This is a non-vented cap, which actually makes sense. There's a tank vent right there. All right. I don't know. I need to figure out what this saw is before we can figure out what we're doing with it. Come back. Okay. So, I didn't remember my Homelite models as well as I thought I did. The XL870 had a points ignition. XL870 had this style of choke, where it comes out the side right there. Had this style of oiler. And there was an optional single ring piston. This is an actual true blue XL870. Now, I had to think about this one for a little bit. Well, I had my lunch, of course. I was able to find about $100 worth of parts. We'll make this the next channel builder. Series, whatever. And we'll go through it. I toyed briefly with the idea of, hey, maybe this should be a full repaint resto. I don't have the time for that, and quite frankly, the lack of decals available would take away from the authenticity of it. I'm going to change out enough parts that somewhere along the line, somebody is going to assume that it's a scab together saw too, until they really dig into it like I just did, but that's okay. I don't care, whatever. So I've found a crankcase from Custom Chainsaw Parts up in Washington that will take care of the blown out bar stud and the broken mount for the bucking spike. Another seller had the air filter mount, which I did not actually have anything on hand for. And then yet one more seller that, again, folks who have bought any Homelite chainsaw parts will be very familiar with, had the air filter cover. And none of the paint patinas are going to match when we get done with this, but it's going to be a strong running XL870 with a optional single ring piston that I've never seen before, to the best of my knowledge. I'm not recollecting seeing one on a saw like this. You don't see a lot of 870s to begin with, and I know the one I have had the dual ring piston set up from the day that I got it. So, anyway, it'll be fun. I'll have some money into it for sure. Definitely have some labor. I ate some popcorn, so it's caught in my teeth like an idiot before hitting go on the camera. Anyway, this is going to be involved. We're going to have to go down and take the crankshaft out in order to install it into this new crankcase. So I will do some of that on video here. I'm not going to do it today. I don't think I am. I've got some other stuff I really need to wrap up another saw before I make a bigger mess. So I think on the next video we'll do disassembly, and I'll show you how to get all this crap apart. Some of it you've seen before. I'm not sure that I've gotten the crankshaft out of the case on this style of saw previously, so it'll work. Anything from an XL700 up to a Super XL 925. An awful lot of what we'll be doing on this saw will be the same. So, like I say, I just don't quite want to make a mess with this saw yet, especially since those parts... Well, the crankcase ought to make it here fairly quick. It might even get here early next week. Well, mid next week. He's not that far away. Anyway, enough jibber jabber. We're going to do a build of an 870 on the channel. This is episode 1, figuring it out. Not real exciting. We'll get into the meat and potatoes on the next one.